Hello and welcome to Rebel Base, IGN's weekly Star Wars show.
Thank you, Gav, and I want to take the opportunity to wish everybody a very happy Life Day.
What on earth is Life Day? You mean Christmas?
You don't celebrate Life Day?
I do not.
Everyone celebrates Life Day, all through the galaxy.
I do not recognise Life Day as a celebration or any holiday.
You have your life presents, you have your life dinner. Why do you hate Life Day?
You've lost me.
Anyway, do you want to maybe clarify what Life Day is?
Well, of course, we're talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special. Now,
Yes.
it is Christmas Day or Life Day, whatever you decide to celebrate. We thought we'd talk about that a bit. Unfortunately, we can't show any footage of it.
No, we don't want to get sued by Disney, so we will be recreating moments in our own particular fashion throughout the show.
Because we have to.
Yeah, and we've called the video How Christmas Nearly Destroyed Star Wars because, well, just for a bit, some people might know what the Star Wars Holiday Special is, some people might not. So just to fill in a bit of the background, it came out in 1978, November of 1978, and
a year after Star Wars came out.
And it's kind of interesting the fact that it was even created, even though it's never been shown since. It's never been released on DVD or video, so it's kind of gone underground. You can get it. It's on bits of it are on YouTube and so on. And it was, it's kind of important. It was the first kind of feature-length installment in the Star Wars universe after A New Hope.
It's 2 hours long.
It's really long. And it's pretty bonkers.
It's mad.
And the word that you kind of see used in association with it a lot on the internet is cash-in.
Yeah.
And Lucas's involvement kind of fluctuates depending on different accounts and versions. Like some people say he was sent dailies, so he was kind of in touch with what was going on in its production.
You say some people, Chewbacca's son said that.
and then in other variations of the narrative, he had nothing to do with it really. He was just like, we'll do what you want.
He must have had something to do with it, because I think his college guy that he went to college with
USC
for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he was attached, and then he went away, and then he was like, I don't know if I can fill 2 hours based on what I've been given here.
It would be good if George Lucas rang up and was like, oh mate, I got a job for you. Oh, thank you so much. What's it doing? Star Wars film? Yeah, it's a Star Wars film.
Do you want to do the next Star Wars?
Yeah. And then imagine ringing up George and be like, George mate, how much, have you seen this script? No, but I'm assuming they're doing a really good job with it. Well, it's a bit weird, mate, to be honest, and it is really freaking weird. Yeah,
if you've got the scripts, it's basically a kitchen sink drama with Chewbacca's family. Yeah. So let's go through it a little bit. So how would you kind of describe its structure?
Well,
does it have a structure?
So Chewie is out in space with Han Solo.
Yep.
They're tooling around in the Millennium Falcon.
In a bit of it.
And they need to get home for Life Day, because Chewie's never missed a Life Day in his life. As Mark Hamill pops up and says to Chewie's family, who are worried that Chewie isn't going to make it home for Life Day. I have to keep saying Life Day and not Christmas. Yeah.
So you get to meet Chewie's wife?
Yeah, which, because obviously the recording that we've seen is really, really bad. It's taken from VHS, so it's on YouTube, so you can barely hear it. And at the beginning, I thought he was saying, Chewie's wife, Paula, but it's actually Mauler.
And you meet his son, Lumpy. And you meet his dad.
Chewie's dad, Itchy.
Yeah, and afterwards they kind of redid the names because they didn't sound quite Star Warsy enough.
No, they're awful. But yeah, so it's those three hanging around in the house waiting for Chewie to get home, and Han and him are going around the galaxy being chased by different...
and huge parts of it contain no dialogue.
No, exactly, yeah. And that's the thing, it was written by quite a lot of people, but the main guys that wrote it, one of them writes the Oscars every year. He's a big sort of TV sort of variety show writer. The other one wrote all the Police Academy films, Naked Gun, Hot Shots, some of the scary movies, and imagine being a professional comedy writer and then having someone go to you, you're going to be writing mostly dialogue for Wookiees. It's do they speak English? No, they just sort of... I'm well, anyone could do that, surely. Why have you got me in?
Yeah, so we've got this big prime time slot, so let's fill first 40 minutes just them. Yeah, just to hook people in.
And it's basically, so things are happening while they're waiting for Chewie to get home. So, and there's a variety of different stuff. So it's
it's a variety show.
Yeah, it's
there's song and dance numbers. Yeah. There's one really kind of trippy, hallucinogenic bit towards the beginning that you particularly like, isn't there?
Oh my god, it's sort of softcore porn. I reckon I'd probably describe it like that.
It's Christmas after all.
Yeah, Life Day, of course. But that's how you celebrate Life Day, is by getting into...
Creating life.
Yeah. Chewie's dad gets into, a sort of rudimentary virtual reality machine. They put the thing over his head, and then he has, basically a virtual stripper, sort of dancing up on him, and there's so many suggestive sort of lines. One of the lines, she says, ooh, you are excited, aren't you? And there's a shot of Chewie's dad just going mental in this chair, going, yeah. Like, it's so weird.
It's nice to get your dad something he enjoys at Christmas.
It's like 6 minutes long as well, that is. Like, that sequence is about 6 minutes long.
See, my favourite segment of it is the character Gourmanda, who is a TV chef.
Oh, right,
cook,
yeah.
And she gets on to doing a bit of cooking, and Chewie's wife is presumably making life dinner for him, and she's watching how you cook bantha fillet, rump. And she's just stirring a pot, and it gets really surreal, and she keeps on stirring it until her wig starts messing up.
The thing is, Chewie's wife is cooking it in a bucket as well. She's just chucking
all
this horrible stuff into a bucket. It's really disgusting. But there's all these different things going on. Then there's like Chewie's son then starts playing with this little table, and these dancers come out. There's a big dance number that lasts about 10 minutes. There's a lot of that going on, and it just... I don't really know how to describe it. It ends with Princess Leia singing some god-awful song to the tune of the main Star Wars theme by John Williams.
So that's the thing, is they got a lot of the talent. Harrison Ford's in there really reluctantly. At the end, he has to pick up Lumpy and give him back to... It's like, no, I don't want him. Yeah. Mark Hamill's in there. Mark Hamill looks very weird, strange.
Yeah.
Like, some people at the time thought it was shortly after his accident, but I think it was filmed much... like a couple of years after his accident, so I don't think it is the case, but he definitely looks kind of unreal.
Yeah,
something strange about him. Maybe a lot of makeup he's wearing. He's like shot in a very weird way as well.
Yeah.
It has this weird canonical status as well, because it introduces lots of things that are now canon, or it was before, whatever has happened with the canon since Disney acquired Star Wars. So his wife, they go to Kashyyyk, and certainly other characters are now kind of sea canon.
Yeah, definitely. And it introduces Boba Fett for the first time as well.
Yeah, so I was going to say, is there anything about the holiday special that redeems it? And it's the first time that we get introduced to legendary cult favourite character Boba Fett in a cartoon. Yeah. Which is one of the inserted segments of the show.
And actually isn't that bad. Like,
it's really watchable. The animation style's strange.
Yeah, it's odd. Like, have a look for it, because Han Solo's face looks like he's melting all the time. It's really, really odd. It's sort of like, almost like Yellow Submarine style. Yeah,
really like cross-hatching, like on the hair and stuff. It's very strange.
Yeah, and Boba Fett comes in on like a big space dinosaur, like a proper badass. His voice is really good as well.
So that's how you make an introduction. You come in riding a big space dinosaur. And he is now a legend.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, it's not, as I said, like, it's not even the worst part of it. Like, it's actually a pretty decent cartoon. And those guys went on to do Droids and Ewoks as well, the same company.
And there's some really good stuff. Like, I think it kind of outlines the character in a better way than probably the film does about Boba Fett. One of the things that, I think we'll talk about Boba Fett in a future episode, but one of the things that's kind of enticing about him is how little you know about him.
Definitely.
And it's the iconic look. But in that cartoon, it establishes him as a mercenary. Like, he betrays Luke. But he refers to him, he tries to present himself as a friend.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's out for himself, even though he's working with the Empire Invader. Yeah. He's very much his own man. So I think that's a really good part of the holiday special. Yeah. The thing is, when you watch it, it is so kind of chaotic, and you can tell it's been hastily pasted together. And almost like crowdsourced, like, let's do this bit,
So, I mean, just sort of wrap up then. Should we embrace the holiday special? Like, should it be considered canon? Do you think that's why J.J. Abrams has come along and said, right, nothing that's happened before has any bearing in this universe, especially Chewie's mum cooking in a bucket?
Well, that's kind of what happened after it was released. George Lucas tried to get rid of all the copies. It wasn't rebroadcast because it was a bit of a failure. It bombed at the time. Even it was, it was savaged by critics. Yeah. I think it was third in the ratings on the night after some NBC miniseries called Pearl and The Love Boat. So it's not like it was loved at the time. It was always a failure. It was a failure when it came out.
Yeah. Lucas has famously said that if he had enough time and a sledgehammer, he would go around and destroy every single VHS copy that there is in the world. He must have hated it as soon as YouTube came along. He must have been like, oh, YouTube, good thing. And then in his head, he's thinking, oh, that holiday special is going to come back in it.
But it's weird because it comes out in a time before Empire happens and Jedi. And Star Wars isn't yet this thing that we know it is. It's very hard for people of our generation. Star Wars was already there, fully formed. It existed. It had this kind of mythical status to it. But back then, it was just one film that did really well. It was a successful summer blockbuster. It's like, it makes sense to do that cash-in sort of thing, like to jump on the bandwagon.
Well, they must have had to do it really early on.
Yeah.
They must have had to do
get
really
the ball
early on
rolling
after
on it,
the movie, yeah.
But then you could just see, oh, we're going to do a sequel. Having this around potentially really jeopardizes the credibility of any future installments. So then it's like, it has to have this underground status. Well, I love the fact that it exists. I love the fact that this like really weird thing happened with all these incredibly famous people before they became incredibly famous.
And B. Arthur's in it.
Yeah. And it's just like this... I think someone described it as like the work of a sentient bag of cocaine. And I love the fact that it exists in this kind of weird status between... Like, everyone knows kind of about it. Very few people have actually sat through it all because you probably couldn't if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, Carrie Fisher said that she's got a copy. She got given a copy in return for doing a DVD commentary, and she says that she puts it on at parties when she wants everyone to leave. And, that's true because some of it is barely watchable. Like, after, the sort of 10-minute dance scenes where you're watching these miniature coloured dancers jumping around, and you think, I don't want to watch this anymore. I want to leave Carrie Fisher's house.
So I can't think of anything better than a holiday special that you put on at Christmas and it makes everyone leave.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what we think of the Star Wars holiday special. Have you seen it? Do you have any favourite moments in it?
Yeah.
If so, email us anytime at rebelbase@ign.com. And until next week, for all your Star Wars needs, stay right here on IGN. Bantha rump. Ooh.
Yeah, this is bantha, you're right. Good bantha between the two of us.
Quality bantha.
Top bantha.
So name the thing in Star Wars and banter.
Oh!
Yeah, now he's there. Now he's there.
There he is.
Now he's there.
Well, no, good.